portrait of a devotee, just a Bhutan. Okay? But see his eyes, his face, his that prayer will. It's not staged. He was just there. I simply took the photograph the way I liked it, just to display the character of that person and also of that place. Can you see that he is wearing the national dress of Bhutan? He is not wearing any other dress. So that's why it's purely of Bhutan. Authenticity. Travel image is very important. Again, another one. I call him Ray-Ban monk. Why? Because the sunglasses are from Ray-Ban. Okay. So this image was accepted in many places all over the world. So I always name it as Ray-Ban monk. That's how I remember this image. Again, culture. One of the monasteries in North Bengal. I think Sikkim. No, sorry, North Bengal. In Lava, I remember now. It's very near in Kolkata. Last year, I actually took this photograph last year. Iftar. You know what is iftar, right? Iftar, the ritualistic, when after the fasting, the devout Muslims, they have their food as the sun goes down. It's in one of the largest mosques of West Bengal. It's called Nakhoda Mosque. So it's in the Nakhoda Mosque. These are the leading lines. Can you see the leading lines? These are the leading lines. Okay? So these are the leading lines, but you will see that I have followed the rules of the composition to the best of my ability and to the demand of the scene in every photograph. But every photograph tells you a story. This also tells you a story. Why? Because see, this man, how they are interacting, these interactions are very genuine. They're very genuine interactions. So the time is stopped forever. Okay? Yeah, Arithur.
In the previous,
this one.
like a stupid question, but
No question is stupid question.
why didn't you center compose?
Why
did you center compose the frame?
The center, which one? Which
Like
center?
the leading line, and like
This one is more or less at the center. This one, look at this particular, what should I say, fissure or crack.
No,
I mean the joining line.
What I mean is like the line is leading to the gate.
Line into the good, okay?
Yeah, and the gate is towards one of the thirds.
No, it's not. It's more or less at the center.
Like
It's not towards the third. Towards the third would have been somewhere here. Okay? Yeah.
So I think there are three leading lines that are leading.
Yeah, there are three actually. The middle one is the non-human one, and the two are the human ones. You are absolutely right.
Yes, so it is leading to the single center point.
Yeah, this one.
So it is more or less to the lower thirds, right?
This one, the gate, yes, it is to the lower third, correct?
Yes.
Are you pointing to that or?
I can't explain it. I feel that, for example, if this was a real frame, you are standing over here, and the thing is like that. The people are sitting, and you take the shot.
Okay.
Instead of that, if I move a bit sideways.
Oh, I did. Actually, I was not standing.
Okay.
I generally never, when I take a photograph, I generally do not stand. Okay. That's one of the trade secrets. I generally do not stand. I go all other sort of postures, but not standing. Okay, I was not standing. Had I been standing, this central line wouldn't have been looking like this.
It would have been a top down.
Yes. You couldn't have seen these spreads at the both sides of the line. It would have been compressed. Okay? So this is in your para, in Bangla what we call para. Okay, your locality, your Gurudwara, Sohana Gurudwara. So can you see the dynamism of this image? There are actually two things, the stillness and dynamism both are included. A man sitting there in his prayers, and these people, they are moving. So they are creating a sort of a blur. Time standing still, time moving, both in the same image.
So how is this achieved, this effect?
It's called a long exposure photography.
Okay.
A completely different technique. today it won't be possible for me to discuss, but after the discussion, if you are, if you can always come and we can discuss. Next, the wildlife photography. How long do I have? What is the time now? Someone says 7:50. 50?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm running out of time. So this is wildlife photography, long lens. Without that, I'll make a safe distance. Please don't go near a tiger or a lion. You are intruders. Remember that. You are intruders. Please don't try to make a selfie with the lion. That's a very bad idea. Patience is the key. I have waited more than 2 days, 3 days to get one shot. It's quite possible. Focus on the eyes of the animal. This is very important. Eyes are everything in animal photography. Without eyes, mostly you can't have a good photograph. Research. Nobody can replace it. Wildlife photography is not spending a lot of money and go to Kenya or all those African wildlife parks and with your long lens and taking few photographs and coming back. And if I ask you, do you know what time wildebeest cross the Mara River? You said, I don't know. Do they cross at a certain time? That's not wildlife photography. Wildlife photography is mostly conservation and learning about animal behavior. Then the photography comes. This is very important, keep that in mind. Respect the wild, I told you, you are the intruders. Portrait. Wildlife photography doesn't have to be action. A mother and her foal. Okay? Look at the eyes. Look at the mother's eyes. She's observing me so keenly. But look at the foal. As usual, like a child, restless, looking everywhere. Again in Spiti Valley, I was sitting on the road with about, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 feet drop. My legs were hanging. Okay? Beside of the road I found them. These are the two alpha males, they were fighting. It's a blue sheep, heart of a blue sheep. You can see the dust. Okay? You can see the dust. Can you? Yeah, you can make it up, right? Okay. Again, this is a diagonal composition. I didn't get the rule of composition. And these are the negative spaces. But they are adding to the photograph, not taking it away. It's very near to my home. Kash Full. You know about Kash. It's very, very, very much sort of, related with the biggest festival of the Bengalis, right? So it's called a stone chat. Again, this is an environmental shot. Without the kash flower, and these weeds, the shot has no meaning. It's meaningless. Imagine it, just about this absolute rubbish.
So,
yeah.
So in the previous photograph, you said that those soil region was negative space, but in the football photograph, it was not negative space. So where exactly he says negative?
Okay, got it. Yeah. Can you tell me that whether this space is it bordered by any other relevant element, or is this space bordered by any other relevant element? That's why it's a negative space. You can go anywhere you want. Your eyes won't be stopped. Okay? It's in one of the marshlands, very famous marshlands called Mongolajori in Odisha. Okay? This is a blue heron. It caught an unfortunate bullfrog. It's grey, right? Yeah, sorry. It's not a blue heron, grey. Have you seen the light? Have you seen the light? Not only the light, look at the eyes, or not of the bird, but of the bullfrog. And this is a tongue hanging out. This is called a high key image. I have only shown you one, just to raise your interest. My whole talk is focused to raise your interest about photography. That's it. This is called a high key image. These are called black wing stilts. They are standing in water. Okay, it's a more of a centrist composition, and it's in black and white. I wanted to show you the form, the color contrast of the bird, and that's it. Landscape, these are my settings. I don't think I have enough time to discuss all these things. Actually, 1 hour is pretty less. I had thought about having 15 minutes question and question answer session, but I don't know whether the club will allow us to have that. But if any of you are interested, you can take a photograph of this, or I'll tell you after. This is for people and culture. This is the setting I use. I share all my settings. It doesn't matter. You can't take my creativity. Take my settings. If you can make better photographs than I do, I'll be the happiest person.
Sir,
Yeah.
your ISO is like auto, so if you
Ah.
change your like shutter speed something, the
Mhm.
iPhone needs to be controlled somehow. And how do you go about that?
It's very simple. You see, when I'm taking a photograph, this lens, this is a 120 mm lens, correct? So the thumb rule is I cannot use this lens at 120 mm below any speed of 1 by 125 of a second. That's the shutter speed that safely I can use. But my camera provides me a 5-axis in-body image stabilization. This is called IBIS, in-body image stabilization system, which is the most advanced system till now available. That gives me a 5-stop advantage, which means I can go with this lens safely to 1 by 30 to 1 by 20. But what happens when I cross that? If I have to go below that? So the ISO is set accordingly that whenever it sees, the camera sees that I am going say below 1 by 30, the ISO starts to be getting raised automatically. Okay? So I don't have to worry about that. I just have to worry that there must not be an issue. I always go for manual exposure, always. I do not, if you are really interested in photography, forget about the auto exposures. This is the wildlife. This is the metering mode I use, but remember metering mode is simply a guideline for me. I do not follow that blindly. I change according to the way I want it to be. Highest possible FPS, this is frame per second. This camera shoots about 20 frames per second. 20 frames per second is raw. Raw means the highest possible file size. It shoots 20 frames per second raw. And in JPEG, the smallest size you can show 120 frames per second. So with this camera, even a fired bullet can be caught. Yes, truly, it can be. There are examples. 120 frames per second in 11 MB JPEGs, and in RAW, 20 frames per second. Every camera has it. Every camera. May not be this high, but it is there. Use it. So I always shoot in RAW. I never ever change it. Never. If you're really serious about photography, forget anything about RAW. Start learning to shoot in RAW. So editing and cross-processing, right? Almost as a very fair of my talk. See, get it in your head. You can't make a bad photograph good in an editing software. Can't be done. Impossible. If anyone says it can be done, he or she is a damn liar. Nothing else. You can't do it. It's not possible. Editing, what is editing? Editing is simply a means to an end. For example, if I want to take a photograph of this particular place, I have a vision. I pre-visualize the same. How I supposed to get the end result. The camera cannot deliver it. It's impossible. I already discussed that. 18% grade. Remember that slide? So in editing, I simply tweak those things and I crop. Crop means make it a smaller. Which part I want. I may not want the whole thing. In wildlife, cropping is very important. So get it right in the camera. But still, if you're interested, there is one free software. This is a beautiful piece of software. This is called Darktable. This is a digital asset management software as well as an editing software. But other editing softwares are very expensive. You have to go for a subscription model, which costs about $600 the minimum one for the Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom. But digital asset management is again a completely different thing to discuss. It's not even editing. This is how you manage your photographs. Believe me, that's 1 hour will be enough for that. These are some of the photographs I just want to show you. Nothing else. If any one of you have any question, again, this is an unfortunate bullfrog. Can you see the small insect? I planned the whole shot. Actually, me and my son, we planned the whole shot in the morning and executed it in the evening because that's the time when I was supposed to get the light. And that's the time when these Himalayan bulbuls, they are most active. That's their feeding time. Again, a knowledge that I must have to take their photographs. Again, it's a story. You see, the ladies always take the advantage. Okay, so the peafowl, she's snubbing that fellow. He's displaying the best he can, but no interest. Okay, so kudos to the ladies. So again, it's a story. That tells you a story. Otherwise, it would have been a documentation. A very short moment. It happens in about 3 to 5 seconds. Again, FPS comes into play, frame per second. Without the high frame rate, I couldn't have been. It wouldn't have been possible to do it. I don't know how many shots I did. This is a blue-tailed bee eater. This is a female one. This is a male one. So the whole mating process is like a flash of an eye. It happens. Okay. So again, pre-visualization, research, planning, everything is there. A story. I chose common subjects because I want you to go and explore. I want you to show that even common subjects, very common animals, you can make beautiful photographs. You don't need exotic animals like Pallas cat or that leopard. You don't need that. Simple animals can give you a very good story. You know, the bee eater doesn't always eat bees. It always feasts on dragonflies. Okay, so that's the dragonfly. It actually throws up and then eats it whole. It's called an environmental shot. This is a very endangered species. Rufous-necked hornbill. How many of you know about this species? Anyone? Yeah, you know. Rufous-necked hornbill, only found in very few places in India. In West Bengal, there is only one place where they are available. So this is a lady. I named her, or rather we named her Lonely Lady because believe me, she couldn't find her mate. For 4 days I was there, she couldn't find the mate. She couldn't. And the whole mating season was going over, and without a mate, that cycle of birth giving cycle, that's vested, and she is very, very jittery and very unhappy. Okay, that's a female one. It's in flight. See the negative space? Yeah, you are inquiring, someone else also inquiring. So see the negative space over here. That gives the space for the bird to fly. Without that, the image will become claustrophobic. Landscape. It's in Sikkim. This is the Silk Road. It used to be, the original Silk Road. It's a part of the original Silk Road that even the Roman time was used. It was used during the Roman time also. So that's a famous. It's very cold out there. Very, very cold. I went during the month of January. Tremendous. The cold is like unbearable. But still, without that time, I would have got this. This again in Kaza, Himachal. Okay? This is in Himachal, Kaza. The sky, I didn't make it believe it was there. Even my driver was saying that, sir, you should stay here for 1 more month. The people of this place will make a temple for you. Because wherever you are going, there is rain. The rain doesn't come here even once in a year. So I was lucky, very, very lucky. Why? Because without the rain, the sky will look very, very flat. That rain cloud gave me an opportunity of lifetime. Okay? So it's in Kaza. This is a Kaza. There is a helipad here. In Delhi. Who can tell me what it is? Yeah? This is Humayun's tomb. Okay? This is Humayun's tomb. And Oritra, believe me, I was not standing. Standing, you won't get this viewpoint. Not possible. But have you seen the light? The sun. We were there in the very early morning with one of the first entrance of the tomb. Okay? Because we were literally chasing the sun. We were literally chasing the light. 15 minutes later, the image was not there anymore. It's gone. Can you tell me what it is? It's a very famous geological phenomenon or atmospheric science phenomenon. It's a cloud burst over the Bay of Bengal. It's a cloud burst. Okay? I was lucky enough to see it and lucky enough to photograph it.
So where you take this picture from?
It was taken in Medinipur. Okay, the place name is, oh, I don't remember the exact name of the place. But very near to Mandarmuni, but not Mandarmuni. Okay, it's a small hamlet-like place. I was there, and suddenly the rain clouds came in the sky, and I saw this. I had only one lens with me. That time I was using a D7200 with 1855 mm lens. That's the only thing I had, and that's what I got. This light and everything was there. I didn't create any light. I did not. This light was there. Everything that was saying, it was there. I simply changed, edited it to express my vision. I cropped it a bit, and that's all. We were standing in the water, freezing water to take this. It's in a small waterfall in North Bengal, the place called Rongo, R-O-N-G-O, Rongo. So there we got it. It was a late evening, the sun was almost down. And that's why you see the beautiful colors of the moss and the red leaves and the other things on the rock. Can you see that the texture is there? Can you see the texture? Not of the water, but of the rocks and the surrounding rocks. Okay? It's his granddaughter. They were praying in Bhutan. I changed it to black and white too. But look at the prayer wheel. It's moving. So the motion is caught in the camera. Without the motion, again, in my opinion, this image would have come down by 5-6 notches in the aesthetics mark. The dynamism would have been lost. I found her in one of my relatives' village. She is blind. She can't see. This is the reality of India. She can't even access the free healthcare. If there is anything called free healthcare, she can't even access that. Someone just brings her out of her room in the late afternoon, sits there, waits for someone to take her back in. That's it. That's her life. She's simply waiting when she's going to die. Believe me. Whenever I talk, I take photographs of these people. I always talk with them, try to find out what they are thinking, and try to bring their character in the photograph. That's the only way I will see all these photographs. The story, the backstory. He's a Toto. Toto, you know that? Toto was there. Toto. Okay. So he was just smoking. He was just going to light a bidi. You know what is a bidi? So I just told him that, can you please light the bidi and I'm going to take some photos. This is fine. So that's one of the results. It's in Agra last year.
So how do you make sure that the smoke is like this good? How do you make sure?
Experience. Frankly, experience. Nothing else. Experience. That's it.
Because I have tried making this kind of shot and that pain is there.
Never mind. He will succeed.
Never come this good.
He will succeed. Believe me. But don't stop trying. I didn't get it in the. I mean, when I first started photographing, I didn't get this. I couldn't have got this. It's with experience that this happens. Where I am placing the subject, is there any wind blowing? All these things you have to take into consideration. But remember, you don't do this consciously. This happens in the back of your brain. This is the whole creative process. I'm trying to explain the creative process behind it. Okay? And thanks for these beautiful questions. Thank you so much. In Agra, I'm actually trying to show you places which are very near to this place, so that you can also go and try to get photographs like this. See the backlight, I was talking about the backlights, remember? Do you remember I was talking about the backlights? Can you see the backlights, how the backlights are forming the outline of the subject? How beautifully it is forming the outline of the subject, and also the dust. Again, it tells you a story, it adds a dynamism to the subject, to the image. It is also Agra. So Agra is not Taj Mahal. Agra is not Agra Fort. Agra is this also. And that's the bigger part of it, believe me. Delhi. Very early morning, me and my son, we went to the Jama Masjid of Delhi. Okay? Took a bus and went there, we walked around and then found subjects. One is sleeping, another is going, and this is called frame within a frame, another composition technique. Okay, you see, this is a frame, this makes a frame, these two pillars, right? So it's called a frame within a frame. This simply restricts your viewer's eyes to a particular place. So Shubha Vijaya to all, this is my last slide. Okay, Shubha Vijaya. Shubha Vijaya, those who are not from Bengal, this is how we greet each other once the festival is over. It simply means the good vanquishing the evil. That's it. So please don't associate any religious flavor with this. This has nothing to do with religion. It's a good old wish that we do. And this photograph, if anyone is interested, this photograph was taken in my own para, in my own place where I stay, my own puja of my own place, and I planned it for 1 day, believe me, 1 day. I found out when this is going to happen, where the elements are going to be placed, and the next day I went there, I waited for more than 1 hour with my tripod and my camera and everything, and when things started to happen, I went there and took the photo. Yeah.
What is the light source? The usual
The light source is whatever you find in a panel, simple. I don't use any other light source. I generally don't use flash unless I'm doing a model photography or a product photography. I have other light sources for that at my home. So product photography, model photography, it's a completely different genre. I'm not going to touch that. And I don't do fashion much, very few. Yeah.
What I was asking is like sometimes you get the sunlight entering like.
No, it's in the evening. You don't have that in the morning. Unless there is a problem with the alumni, you don't have that in the morning. Okay, so this is where you can find me if any one of you are interested. But I must tell you, I'm not very active on social media. I don't get much time. But still, if you're interested, you can find me. I have a website. My email ID is there. So if any one of you have any sort of queries, shoot me a mail. I may not be able to answer you within 24 hours, but believe me, I'll get back to you in minimum possible time, maybe 2 days, 3 days. If I'm not traveling or anything, I'll get back to you. Okay, so if anyone is interested, can I just, so that's it. This is the end of my talk. Any questions? If anyone of you have any questions, please. Yeah.
So what's your take on photography?
Big one?
What's your take on street photography? Like to go about doing?
What do you mean by my take? I don't understand.
How do you see it? Like how to one?
It's a different genre. It's a you tell a story, but that story may not tell you about that place, but it is more of a human emotion, their interaction. It's more of a spark of a moment.
Like things are so rapid out there, and changing the camera settings and things are
No, you can't actually. You can't. You have to read the light. Okay, so for example, if you are going in doing a street photography in Mohali, say tomorrow, after say 10 o'clock, you know what type of light will be there. So once you start from your home, you set your camera accordingly. But you should be flexible enough to change the aperture and shutter speed at least on the fly. That you should have. I mean, that capability you must develop. You must learn to use your tool. This is a very expensive piece of tool. This is like a painter has a brush and an easel, a pencil. You know how much a Staedtler pencil costs with which you make sketches? That comes from Germany. This is one of the most costliest pencils because the painter knows how to use it. So similarly, you as a photographer, this is your tool. Learn to use it. Learn. Read the manual as many times as you can. Yes. So, do I answer your questions? But there are beautiful street photographers out there, like Alan Scaller is there, Vinit Bora is there. There are many others.
You wonder how you take these, how you take.
No, I love street photography, but I see how many things I can do. But I do street. I mean, it's not that I don't do street photography. I don't think if I have images with me. I think 1 or 2 images are there.